Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Life Actually with L.A. Mumar. And today, we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine. He used to be an actor, both on TV and stage. He also, did a lot of modeling, ganyan. But now, he's a pastor in our church. So I'm very excited to welcome to our podcast, Mr. Bodie Cruz.
Hey bro, thanks for inviting me. Natawa ako na sinabi mong actor bro kasi alam naman nating nauna ka sa akin sa larangan na yan.
Actually, nauna ako sa iyo sa maraming bagay.
Oo.
Okay? Dahil mas matanda ako sa iyo ng I don't know, 10 years. But how
Yeah.
are you? How's the family? How's everybody?
Ayos naman. I mean, we had a couple of months to cope with our situation now. Somehow, we have seen this as our normal. So, enjoy naman. Enjoy. Family's good, healthy. Kayo,
That's good.
kamusta?
We're good. There are challenges, online schooling, ganyan, but can't complain, no? Can't complain. We're very blessed. Since diretso na ako, magtatanong na ako kaagad, di ba, back in '07, you were in bahay ni Kuya, you were secluded, isolated in in a house. Parang ganun yung nangyayari natin sa'yo. So medyo na-practice ka na 13 years ago.
Oo nga bro, na-practice tayo. Actually, nung nasa bahay ako ni Kuya, that was 4 months of being stuck in a house. And ang kakaiba doon is wala ka naman talagang connection with the outside world. So wala kang Zoom, wala kang messaging, wala kang Instagram. We didn't even have a clock inside. So you can say talaga na no news from the outside world. So you can say na kahit paano medyo preparation yon. But I think the difference is during that time I signed up for it. Ito kasi, kumbaga, lahat tayo parang biglaang, okay, ikukulong kayo sa loob ng bahay nyo. So I think that's where definitely mindset plays a big factor. At least yun, meron akong preparation na 2 to 3 months before. I knew that that was going to happen. So somehow prepare ko utak ko. But now, syempre lahat tayo nagulat with our situation. I would say na medyo siguro nakakalamang tayo kasi naka 4 months tayo na isolation. But just like everybody else, I was surprised and maraming adjustments na kailangan gawin.
You were, di ba? If I remember correctly, were you in the top 5, top 4? Where were you
Yes,
at there?
bro. I was the 5th place. I was evicted 2 nights before the finals.
Wow. What do you remember the most? I mean, if I would say, give me one specific experience or memory inside that house, what would it be?
Actually, bro, sobrang daming memories. But I think the biggest challenge that I faced there was, well, they sent me scuba diving. Pinadala ko sa Pangasinan, 100 Islands. So, hindi kami pwede makita ng outside world. So, from inside the house, blindfold ako. Tapos, I remember na parang it was already 3 months since I rode the car. So pagsakay ko ng kotse, naka-blindfold ako, naka-earphones. Tapos bro, yung pag-andar ng kotse, pakiramdam ko, parang nag-take off na airplane. So sabi ko, naku, saan nila ako dadalhin? Tapos when I woke up, I had to do scuba diving kasi may ikakasal sa loob ng house. So dahil ikakasal sila, kailangan namin hanapin yung rings which were underwater. And it was my first scuba experience. So a lot of things that I needed to overcome. But thankfully, nakabalik naman ako sa bahay with the 2 rings. Nakasal naman yung 2 tao. So that was
Yay!
the memories that I remember.
So, kailangan ako pala mag-scuba diving para next time ikaw naman yung ikasal.
Oo nga bro eh. Siguro provide mo na rin yung lahat ng bagay.
Tapos, di ba, after that, or somewhere there, you also did, you also acted, of course, and also did some stage. I remember you doing Joseph the Dreamer. That was some great project, right?
Yes, bro. So actually, malayo yung pinagdaanan natin to where I am right now. I actually started, before I entered PBB, I started as a computer programmer. So, growing up,
Parang hindi ko siya ma-picture.
bro, ito, nakaharap ako. Gusto mag-acting tayo. Pero yun, before kasi, well, naman, we grew up in a showbiz environment. Even if wala tayo doon, our parents are well known. Actually, yung friendship natin, inisip ko kanina, gaano katagal na ba tayo friends? Well, if we count our parents, ilang dekada na rin, ano? Pero tayo, we just feel connected.
Yeah.
I started out as a computer programmer. I was actually quite shy growing up. I wanted to be in the
Hindi
back.
halata. Hindi halata.
Bro, a lot can happen in a couple of years, di ba? Pero yun, like me speaking up, that would be the last thing I would do going up on stage. Pero yun, na-challenge lang ako. Sabi ko, I want to join that Big Brother thing. Kasi even up to now, I'm a big fan of reality TV. So, I wanted to join. I joined, nag-leave lang ako from my work kasi sabi ko ayoko mag-showbiz. I was planning to go back. But then, after I finished PBB, nagkaroon ng mga offers to do mga teleserye. Hindi naman tayo ganun kagaling umacting, pero nakita natin na okay yung kita. So sabi ko, oh, wow, this is something na I could actually enjoy doing. So I left my former job, pursued a career in acting. I did that for 9 years. And then the stage play, Joseph the Dreamer, came up. It's one of the stories from the Bible. So I was tasked to play Joseph. That was the time that, during that time, my director told me na, Bodie, we're not just going to do this for entertainment. At the end of it, gusto ko mag-share ka ng word ni God. So ako parang, bakit? Diba? Bakit ko gagawin yun? Kumuha ka lang na ibang tao to do that. Sabi niya, no, I want you to do it. And then as I shared the word of God in the end, that's when I realized that this is what God has called me to do. So I made the shift from acting to right now working as a pastor.
Nice. And let me kind of rewind a little bit, and then we'll kind of go and trace your story. We started acting. I know you did a little bit of modeling also. Did anything with si Tito Tirso? Of course, Tirso Cruz the Third. Alam naman natin lahat na one of just the legends in the industry. Is he nonchalant, or is he parang hands-on? Both, this is how you act? Yeah. Or bahala ka dyan, figure it out?
Actually, I think he sensed the pressure coming from all around me. Even as I entered PBB, parang all eyes were there because this is the son of Tirso Cruz. So everyone was checking out, parang, ano ba, is he as good as his dad when it comes to acting? Does he have the same charisma? And going into it, my dad just reminded me na, oy, wag ka magpa-pressure, enjoy mo lang yan. Sabi niya, and always remember that, you have a different track from me. Your story is different, so just see where it will take you. Pero nakita ko, kahit papano, he was kind of holding back. Nandun yung excitement kasi out of all his children, parang we tried out showbiz when we were young, pero no one really pursued it. So when he saw that opening na parang, oh, one of my children can actually continue my legacy, na-sense ko yung inner excitement niya, pero he did not want to give it all out. Baka not, yun, so as not to pressure me. But talking about yun nga, pressure, definitely, I'm sure you got it too, di ba? Yung mga kasamahan nila sa trabaho, somehow nakikita mo may expectations, mga director, mga staff, oh, yung daddy mo, magaling dapat sa eksenang to, ganito, ganyan. But I think na-break yung ice when, well, my first acting project was with him na. So, nandun lang siya sa set. He wasn't even coaching me. Tinatanong lang niya sa bahay, parang, nabasa mo na ba yung script? Okay ka naman? So, yung pagka-stage father, siguro, iniiwasan niya rin. But one thing that worked for me as well was that growing up we were friends with his friends from showbiz. We looked at them as our titos and titas. So, sila rin yung nakakatrabaho natin. So, the guidance was definitely there. Pero si Papa yun, he tried his very best not to be a stage father.
Tito Tirso, good job not being a stage father. Congrats. So, kay Janine na lang.
Tita ba sa'yo?
Stage father, ha?
Si Tita ba sa'yo, ganon?
And then, medyo hands-off din. Ganon din, very similar. Very, very hands-off, very supportive with that. Is there, doesn't have to be regarding acting, but was there ever a moment na na-realize mo when you were young na sikat ang tatay mo?
Definitely, parang, of course, this is not saying it to brag it. It's just really factual na everywhere you go, people ask for photos. Tapos hindi naman natin maiwasan talaga. Like growing up, we'd receive special favors na, alam mo yan, parang, oh, dito ka na po, Sir Tirso. So growing up,
Tama.
we definitely something was up. Pero every time people ask me, was it weird for you? I wouldn't say it was weird kasi we were already born na ganun na yung case.
I have a very similar story. Ang turning point sa akin, yung tindera sa Ateneo, mahaba kasi all boys school eh. Ang daming
Ah.
pila. Nung nalaman niyang anak ako ni Connie Reyes, hindi na ako pinapapila. So that was,
Dito ka na, dito ka na.
fan siya ni ma'am. But
Pero
are there,
hindi ko
the other
makaka-relate ka.
side,
One thing that I really disliked growing up, pag merong mga program sa school, dahil anak ka ng artista, they assume that you will be the one to sing and to dance. And to be honest, I really hated it. I dreaded every moment. Papakiusapan ko yung mom ko na, ma, please, baka naman pwedeng wag na. Tapos siya parang, okay lang yan, go, go. Tapos ako, man.
maybe you mentioned it, that's kind of like a disadvantage. But is there anything na parang medyo challenging being a celebrity's kid?
Yeah, I think it's really carrying the name of the family. Siyempre, di ba, parang somehow when you share your story to others, you're in a way revealing the story of your family and it can affect you. So growing up lang din, I think it was we come from, yun nga, a showbiz family. So yun lang din yung tip na, di ba, parang don't divulge so much to other people kasi chismis is there and it can be taken out of context. So when it comes to really vulnerability, especially when it comes to friends, parang mas naging maingat ako to the point na sometimes hindi na lang ako magkukwento. So I think that's one of the things that I needed to navigate growing up. And I'm thankful naman that eventually I found trustworthy friends and friends who can actually relate with me. Again, yung mga kasamahan din na anak ng friends ni Papa so that we can somehow have that environment or atmosphere where we can just be ourselves and share our experiences.
Yeah, I kind of see that in your social media. They kind of hang out and you even do some mga, I don't know, was that TikTok or you guys dance or do crazy things. That's really good to see that you guys are really friends, no? But let me shift gears a little bit with this. So acting and stuff. Pero is there any kind of memorable event sa acting career mo? Tanggalin mo muna yung PBB. Anything memorable with an encounter with a director, napagalitan ka, or ito sa scene that you're really proud of? Can you give us one example?
Sige bro. Sige, dalawa kasi tinatanong mo kung meron bang time na napagalitan tapos a scene that I was proud of. So unahin na natin to napagalitan. Syempre hindi na ako magda-drop ng names pero there was a certain show that I was part of. Tapos sobrang init ng ulo sa akin ng assistant director. Which I really get. Even yung pagtayo ko lang, talagang pagagalitan ako. Ba't kanya ka tumayo? Ayusin mo yan. Parang yung mga co-actors namin, medyo nagtataka na rin na what's wrong with what he's doing? Tapos eventually, I found out na nagkaroon pala sila ng encounter ng dad ko. So parang he was taking it out on me. So eventually, when I realized that, I talked to my manager nga, tapos sabi ko, can we do something about this? Kasi, you know, instead of me enjoying my work, I dread going to it kasi there's this guy who's out to get me. So eventually, that was fixed naman. I was trying to bite my tongue during that time. Sabi ko talaga, Lord, help me not to retaliate kasi ang sarap din ang sarap patulan nito, the human side of us, di ba? Pero yun nga, I kept biting my tongue and going home. Alam mo yung asar na asar ako sa sarili ko na dapat sinagot ko yun dapat sinagot ko yun. Pero eventually, nakita ko that it was good that somehow I held back kasi when it was reported, everyone was saying na parang wala namang ginagawa si Bodie sa kanya, hindi naman siya pinapatulan So,
anak lang siya ni Tirso Cruz.
Yun na nga napag-initan lang. So,
ano sabi ng daddy mo?
Nakwento
mo ba o tinago mo sa daddy mo?
Siyempre, gigil din siya. Tinatago ko kasi sabi ko, naku, baka hindi niya ma-handle yung mga ganito. Ako nga, hirap na hirap ako mag-hold back Pero sabi ko nga sa kanya, wag na tayong wag ka nang pumasok. Just let the manager handle it. That way, yun nga, if ever magtanong yung mga tao about it, masasabi na hindi tayo pumatol. And siya yung makikita na mali talaga. So there's
Nice.
wisdom talaga in biting your tongue and just trusting the whole process, not taking justice into our own hands. And second naman, yung thing that I am proud of, before I transitioned to become a pastor, isa lang yung request ko kay God. Sabi ko, Lord, you allowed me to work on my first project after PBB with my dad. I just asked that before I leave show business, that I get to work with him again. During that time, it was an extra parang miracle prayer kasi that was the time that he just finished battling cancer.
Yeah.
So, sabi ko talaga, Lord, talagang this window of opportunity, I hope that I get to work with him. And eventually, yung Joseph the Dreamer, yung stage play na ginawa ko where I played Joseph, may isa na namang run na nag-open and he played my dad doon sa stage play na yon. So, it was not just, yun, alam mo yung hindi lang eksena, but even the rehearsals before that made it really special. So, I would say that that is one project that I am really proud of to be part of. Kasi yun nga, just hearing then the stories of people who watched it, they were really touched. They saw what it says in the Bible. And a lot of people, grabe, ang daming nag-approach sa akin na magkagalit silang magkakaibigan, sabay silang nanood, tapos nagkabate because of that story. So I think at
Galing.
the end of the day, more than just offering entertainment, it's a transformation of heart that would make you smile and say that this was a good project.
That's awesome, Bodhi. And I think God really used you there dun sa Joseph the Dreamer. He continuously has been using you. You've gone through a lot, no? You already alluded. Si Tito Pip naman has been very open with his testimony, sharing that he got sick, and you know, we've heard some of his perspective, and also your brother, unfortunately, diba, God took him away at an early age, diba? But you've gone through a lot, and a lot of people ask them what they go through. But what about you? Kasi you, Janine, si Tita, you guys also go through stuff. Even if hindi tayo yung primary, hindi tayo yung primary na tinamaan, pero apektado tayo dahil kapamilya natin itong mga to. And that's something that I really admire about you. More than being a pastor, it's just that just going through those things and really handling it the right way.
Yeah, a lot of people ask about that because the family actually battled cancer twice. And my dad was healed, my brother passed away, and they're looking at it as a 1-1. Parang one nanalo yung cancer, one na defeat yung cancer. But ako, as we look at it, the whole perspective, I would say that we won twice. Because even if my dad was given the healing, my brother, even if he passed away, again, with knowing that he believed in Jesus, we know that he is in heaven already. So I would say that both situations we experienced the grace of God. Talking about difficulty, kahit naman talaga, kahit na pakiramdam mo gaano ka ka-close kay God, when a problem hits you, it really hits you. Let's be real. So it wasn't the easiest thing to go through. There were a lot of moments where we cried, where we, broke down. I think as a family, one thing that we just really need to watch out for is just being there for each other. Ang usapan namin during that time, kung may isa mag-breakdown, wag natin sabayan. Yung parang let that person have his or her moment. Especially with my mom, we were so careful. Let
Of
them have their
course.
moment. Tapos wag kayong sumabay. You be the one to encourage that person. Tapos when it's your time, they will be the one to encourage you naman. But
Yeah.
definitely going through a sickness, battling a sickness is not just a problem of the patient. Again, definitely the family has to go through it. Sabi ko nga kanina, di ba, perspective is so important. So coming into trials, coming into challenges, it's important that we have the right perspective, not feeling that we are defeated, but really having that heart to fight it out. Recently lang, my friend shared with me that yung mom niya was diagnosed with cancer. So yun yung kinukwento ko. Sabi ko, when you make the decisions, make it as a family. Kasi definitely, you'll have to extend your patience towards the patient. Kasi pag nag-chemo yan, iinit yung ulo, mag-iiba yung mood, and the family, hindi mo pwedeng patulan. You have to really support that person. And during the times na nangihina na yan and pagod na, you have to be there cheering them on. Hindi rin tayo pwedeng umiyak sa harap nila kasi what keeps them going is the strength of the family. So again, definitely, both were difficult situations for us, but what helped us was the right perspective, having the mindset that we are already in victory because of God, and at the same time having the right friends around us who encouraged us as well. And I'm really thankful because through those two times, of course, problems are not things that we pray for, but at the end of the day, God has His way of showing His grace and His love throughout these trials.
And both I can totally relate because my mom's also a cancer survivor.
Wow, yeah.
Unfortunately, my dad succumbed to it.
Mm.
So, and sometimes there's a lot of confusion, and and ako naniniwala ako, and I don't know if you agree with me, but but sometimes sometimes you're I don't know if I think you're totally healed, but there are just tough days,
Yes.
and like ako, I sometimes remember my dad, certain songs, certain
Mm.
situations that I have three boys, them, and
Yeah.
sometimes I just ponder, parang what if my dad was here, malalaro niya yung mga apo niya. Do you ever have things like that with Tej?
Yeah, sabi nga nila, 'di ba, grief comes in waves. So there are times that you think that you're okay, but you'll be surprised like 3, 4 years down the line, you suddenly feel this parang heaviness
Yeah.
na, man, I wish this person was here. I'm
Yeah.
actually,
What I don't wanna make you cry,
yeah.
okay?
Uh,
Because this is supposed to be a fun,
okay lang naman. Yeah.
Pero like ako, there's a certain song that my dad would always sing kasi he likes to sing but singing doesn't like him. So, pero there are two songs that talaga naalala ko dad ko and I get teary-eyed. What makes you remember your kuya?
Definitely songs. He loved songs a lot. So usually when we listen to the radio, sobrang wide ng range ng ano niyan, ng genre. So pag New Year, pag Christmas, pag may birthday, ang may hawak ng tugtugan, yung kuya ko parate. And alam mo yung when he was alive, pag may pinapatugtog siya, parang kami mga, palitan nyo nga yan. Kuya, ano ba naman yung music mo? Pero ngayon, it's those songs that remind us of him. Definitely when we eat, sobra kasing one funny thing about my brother, and this is not to dishonor him, pero he really eats a lot. To the point na sometimes, nauubusan niya kami ng food. So alam mo yung pag may masarap na food sa table, we talk about it na alam mo siguro kung nandito si kuya, hindi natin natikman to kasi naubos niya na sa sobrang sarap. So it's like that trigger. And
Yeah, I remember si TJ, he had this parang ministry or sa mga sick kids, and talagang grabe, he really had the heart to help and the sick, and that's I think he got that from your parents also, and nakita ko naman yan sa iyo. Kay Janine nakikita ko din paminsan.
alam mo, really interesting. If you would say, advocacy of my brother was really to help kids who were battling with cancer.
Yes.
And he was doing that because of the ordeal that we went through with my dad. But little did he know that it was the same thing that he was going to go through. So, in ano rin din, to keep his legacy and to keep that work, we are still in contact with Make-A-Wish Foundation. So that was the foundation that he was helping out. So once a year, request niya kasi to bago siya mamatay. Sabi niya, sana yung mga bata, we still get to touch base with them kahit bigyan lang natin ng regalo every Christmas. And for I think the past 2 years, we were able to bring them, partner with Enchanted Kingdom. So dinala natin
Yes.
the kids. We have people from church who help out as well, pray for the kids, and sila yung nag-aalaga while we go around doon. So it's something that definitely is close to our heart. We still continue helping them out because of the request of my brother.
And Bodhi, some people who are listening here, we try our best. I try my best to make this inspirational. This is really definitely not an entertainment vidcast. And usually I ask people to share a little bit sa dulo. But maybe ngayon people are listening to us, and people are going through some stuff. A lot of people have passed away because of COVID or any other sickness, and with the healthcare, and we don't want to get into that, but you've gone through some of these things, and dapat medyo pero feeling ko dapat pag-usapan na natin ngayon kasi later we'll go a little bit lighter, promise. But there are people here listening, and they're also struggling. They miss a relative. Sometimes they get down and discouraged. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think first talaga would be addressing the problem, accepting the problem. A lot of people kasi 'di ba parang when a lot of things are going on, parang sige sasantabi ko lang, hindi okay lang 'yan, okay lang 'yan. You know, when you lose someone, it's never okay. Even when you lose a job, it's never okay. It's okay to grieve. You know, give yourself that time and that space to be able to let it all out. Uh, with my mom in the beginning when we lost my brother, we were so worried about her kasi nga parang she's always crying. Tapos parang all of her thoughts parang consumed by that. That's when we had to talk to a counselor and a pastor as well. Tapos sabi niya nga parang just let her go through it. You know, let her express it. Post yung when she lost my brother, sabi nga, start a diary, put your thoughts there. If you're comfortable, air it out on Facebook, yung just remembering that person. So definitely give yourself that time and space to grieve, to acknowledge that yes, I am hurting. Yes, I lost someone. But at the same time, partner with someone as well. It's so important that you connect with people who can just really encourage you and pick you up. Um, so definitely that's one of the things that I would want to encourage people. Uh, Accept the problem, but at the same time connect with people who can help you out. You can never go through a certain problem alone. So, you know, connect with the right friends. And definitely when you connect with the right friends, connect with God as well. You have to somehow see his hand. A lot of times when something happens to us, the initial reaction would be to blame God and to be angry with God. But, you know, we just have to recognize and realize that his ways are really higher than ours. And you know, the things that we treasure in this world, the people that we treasure in this world, um, our lives go beyond this. And we know that moving forward, you know, we have something to look forward to even at the end of our lives in this world. And I think that's what gives us peace personally. When it comes to my brother, the grieving process wasn't really easy. But I would say that what helped us get through it is the peace knowing that he accepted Jesus Christ and the peace knowing where he is right now. He is truly in a better place. And I could relate that when it comes to our situations right now. A lot of us might have lost jobs. A lot of us might have lost businesses, money. But you know, these things are things that God can replace. I pray that as we go through this trial, God doesn't allow anything to happen without a reason. So I pray that we won't miss out on the lessons that He is teaching us. Uh, that might be too hard to chew on for some of us, but what I could say to you is really just don't let go of God. Continue to hold on to Him and to His promises. And this situation that we are in right now, it might seem so long. A lot of people are saying already,
I
tama na,
know.
stop this. But you know, I think with any other problem, uh, it feels so long when you are in it. But when you look back, you know, when all of this is over, you would say, na grabe, ang bilis lang pala. Grabe, that time. I look
That's
forward
great.
to that day na mapapagkwentuhan natin to with a different perspective. With the
Yes.
perspective na tapos na.
Sobrang thank you for sharing that. Let me segue a little bit, a very smooth segue. Mahilig ka mag-workout, no?
Yes, bro. Actually, that's one of the things then I would really suggest to people. Right now that we are in quarantine, we have to find ways to somehow bring back our old routines. Kasi kung mananatili lang tayo na parang take it by the day, whatever comes our way, man, the productivity level would be so low and it will really drag you down pa kasi you feel so useless. So, you know, whatever you used to do before, try to put it back in your schedule right now. And I remember yung kwento ng mga tungkol sa workout. Of course, we read the Bible, pero the workout was somehow the signal of the start of my day. So that's one of the first things that I put in my schedule when the
And
quarantine started.
yeah, I follow in social media, and one of the things I was telling my friend about you, knowing that we were gonna guest you. One of the things that I really appreciate about you, and maybe you can kind of give us a little bit of insight, is you're very well balanced. I don't know if you got that from your parents or you just developed it by yourself. Like, I know you work in the ministry, and that's very good, and we will talk about that later. But you have a pretty solid social life. Then you also work out, which kasama na rin yun kasi I think friends mo rin yung nakaka-workout mo. And then you have a great relationship with your family. I see you hanging out with your sister, with your parents. Tapos, of course, you do your work, people from church, etc. Parang there's such a balance in you that I don't see in a lot of people, to be very honest. How did how do you do this?
Paano nga ba? I honestly don't know. I think it just really came together. We just really have to be careful na yung lahat ng energy natin hindi lang napupunta sa isang bagay. That's one of the things that I noticed about myself, because when I shifted, before naman yung working out, it was part of the job being an actor. You needed to look good. Yeah, definitely when I shifted to the ministry, I noticed na yun na lang yung naging focus ko. I was so focused on work, na let go ko yung mga friendships ko. Somehow, nagkaroon din ako ng imbalance pagdating sa family. I was so focused on that. Tapos, I just came to a point na nakaranas ako ng fatigue. Alam mo yung parang sakit na ulo ko. And I was feeling low without any reason. Tapos, I just remembered, sabi ko nga, ano ba yung kulang? And I remembered, it's important for us really to stay connected, still to know how to have fun. Definitely, God didn't create us just to be work. And yun nga, sabi, ngayon, di ba, meron din naman ngayong mga talks parate about having a holistic life. So definitely, juggling all of those things, doon ko na-identify lang na, okay, so saan ako nagkukulang? Definitely.
Okay.
Ano yun, bro?
I know one of your work-life balance stuff is you watch a lot of Korean novelas.
Oh, bro, kasama yan.
What's your favorite? Top 2. Top 3.
Naku, bro, mahirap yan. Alam mo, recently, iniisip ko lang yan eh. Pero I would say, one would be yung My Mister. It's really good. It's a slice of life, helping other people out. Number 2 would be Hotel de Luna. Really good story.
Okay. Nasumulan ko siya. Okay ba? Hindi ba siya horror?
Medyo ano siya, bro. Horror comedy. So, ang masasabi ko lang sa'yo, bro, kilala mo yung sister ko, si Janine.
Of course.
And si Janine, she's really scared. Pero natapos niya yan because it's a really nice story. So, I recommend to watch it. Pangatlo, hindi ko lang napanood. Hindi. Ito yung pinakamahirap eh. Sige, magti-3 and 4 ako. Yung pangatlo ko,
mo talaga.
Vagabond, kasi sobrang action. Sobrang hindi kahihinga dyan. Habang pinapanood ko.
Yun ba yung Yun ba yung parang 24 na Korea?
Yes, bro. Sobrang 24 Korean yan. Tapos number 4, meron ako napanood recently, bro. Save Me. It's about this family who gets into an oppressive cult. So the parents get brainwashed. Tapos the daughter is the only one who's somehow sane. So she's asking her friends to save her. Sobrang
grabe ah. Pero yun yung appreciate ko sa'yo yung work life mo. Like, I even saw a post na parang you did this crying Korean post with some of your friends. And it's just like you're a guy who knows how to have fun, enjoy life. There's a seriousness to it. Reaching out to people, helping them, sharing the gospel, which is awesome. There's also a lightness to it. And parang it goes one very, very balanced person.
I think, bro, the key there, because growing up, I felt like I needed to put on an act. Again, I did not realize it, but it actually came from the pressure of the people around us. But, finding your true identity, knowing that you don't really need to put up an act just to impress people, relaxing that way. Somehow, yun nga, alam mo, I still have to discuss that with my sister kasi hindi niya pinaalam na ipopost niya yung picture namin na flying drama. Nakita ko nilang posted na siya. But yeah, I would say that there are times when we really need to find that space not to take life too seriously. Just to have fun with friends, hang out. Yung workout nga na pinag-uusapan natin kanina, the reason why I continue doing it is because it's a way that I can connect with my friends. There are days when I wake up na parang, man, I don't want to do this. But then I remember na yung kaibigan ko inaantay kasi Zoom account ko yung gamit sa workout namin. We work out via Zoom every 7 a.m. So hindi ako pwede malate. So yun lang, I think one thing important for us to enjoy all of these things that we are doing is that we do it with people. Uh, if you love people, you get to learn to love other things that they do, and somehow may expose ka na rin to different things. K-drama, I used to dread it. Sabi ko, ba't ako manonood yan? Eh, hindi nga ako mahilig magbasa, tapos pagbabasahin niyo pa ako habang nanonood. But then, I learned how to love it because of the people around me. I wanted to
Nice.
connect with them. So,
Yung
teka, ikaw, tatanong muna kita, ano bang paborito mo? Chloe
ah,
ka bro, eh, no?
ang napanood ko lang naman, Chloe. Siyempre, napanood ko Chloe because of si Macy, di ba?
Naku, si Macy,
Ah,
bro, ang sabi ni Macy, nanonood kayo ng Chloe, ikaw pa yung namimilit.
tapos, konti lang napanood ko, yung Something Secretary Kim. Yun, that was fun. And then, I saw half of Descendants of the Sun, pero si Macy tumapos eh. But that's pretty cool as well. So, pero wala ako sa level mo, bro. Wala ako sa level mo.
No, kasi you know what I love about the Koreans is sobrang grabe yung culture tsaka yung values na pinopromote nila sa shows nila. I love it.
So, wala kang plano, kahit na, alam ko hindi ka naman babalik because you're doing well in the ministry. Wala kang plano mag-cameo kahit konti.
No, bro. Alam mo, the funny thing is, marami nga nagtatanong sa akin, hindi mo ba namimiss mag-artista? Sabi ko, you know, when I watch a really good TV show, yung parang feeling mo lang, man, ang sarap siguro maging part nito, no? But then you go back to what God has called you to do and you remember na, naku, magme-makeup pa ba magfa-foundation pa ba tayo, bro? Tsaka mag-aaral pa ba ulit tayo magpatulo ng luha? Parang ibigay na natin. I see, again, a lot of people who are so much better in that field.
Madali ka ba umiyak?
Nako bro, hindi masyado. Mahirap sunduin yung luha natin. Ay, kwento lang pala ha. Sa Joseph the Dreamer, funny thing, I needed to cry a lot there.
Okay.
Tapos, Joseph the Dreamer lang, we all know he became an Egyptian. So there were scenes na kailangan off yung top ko. So during that time, sabi sa akin ng trainer ko, bro, wag kang iinom ng tubig bago magsimula yung show para tuyo ka tingnan, para kita yung cuts mo. So hindi ako uminom ng tubig. Bro, when the crying scenes were there, naalala ko bigla wala akong tubig sa katawan. I was trying to, make tears come out. Sobrang wala talaga. Tapos pagkatapos nun, sabi ko sa trainer ko, maling-mali yung advice mo.
Kasi
Parang,
yung trainer mo, hindi siya acting coach. Ikaw kasi nagulo ka eh.
Kaya nga eh. So yun lang, funny. Ang hirap magpatulo ng luha, kaya nga, naranasan mo ba bro maglagay ng Vicks? Hindi ako ha. Pero a lot of people do that. So.
Oh, they do that. And I'm sure our parents will medyo frown upon people who do that because si Tito Pip, of course si Mom, talagang they take their craft seriously.
Pero kung may makita kayong gumanito bago umiyak, alam mo na yun, bro. Alam mo na yun. Tinahid lang yun.
Yun yung maganda doon, di ba? So wala, hindi tayo makaka-expect ng comeback dyan kahit cameo lang sa mga telenovela ni Airpods.
Wala, bro. Pero I think yun nga, yung tinatanong mo kanina, how can we continue the legacy that our parents started? I believe that somehow naman it might not be related to acting. But here, what you're doing right now, I just want to commend din kasi alam mo, I believe that especially during this time, a lot of people are coming out with content. And sa totoo lang, di ba, a lot of content is yung mga short laughter, papatawanin ka lang, comedy. Pero we are in need of content like this that inspire other people. Kasi, a comedy video, a funny video would only make you laugh for a minute or two. But, having an inspirational show where you could share about life, it has the power to shift the perspective of people and to help them get through difficult times. So what you're doing right now is actually continuing the legacy of Tita Connie in a different expression. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Again, that's really our goal. And talagang we hope na we can really achieve and touch more people. Sige, eto muna, bago tayo mag-game, no? Kasi usually pagka-landing na tayo, may game tayo. Pero I know you work in the ministry, you're doing well there, and just tell me one thing that you love about working as a pastor, working in the ministry.
Yes. One thing that I saw happen throughout the years growing up is the Lord taught me how to somehow love people. During show business, di ba, alam mo yan, our parents would tell us, makisama kayo sa lahat ng klase ng tao. And
Yes.
that was the time that I learned that. Pero when I entered the ministry, that's when I learned how to truly relate with people. Hindi lang yung plastika na, oh, hi, beso, beso. It was really connecting with people at the heart level. And I think whether you are a pastor or whether you are someone working in the office, if you have that heart to reach out to people, to pray for them, to connect them to God, you are given the front row seat to see transformation happen in their lives. And the beautiful thing about that is as you see it, you really cannot take any credit for what you did eh. Kasi you know that it was all God, but at the same time, ikaw din, when you help others, somehow your faith is built up. Ikaw din na-encourage. And, seeing that reminds you of God's faithfulness in the past. And, you wouldn't really exchange it for anything else. So I think that's one of the things I appreciate in the ministry, seeing the transformation in the lives of people and somehow playing my small part in it.
Nice.
I wouldn't exchange it.
And I just have to ask some of these questions, unfortunately for you and fortunately for all our viewers. Do you have a girlfriend now?
Wala ngayon eh. But it's something that I've been praying for the past months.
Pero yung tinext mo sa akin dito, meron na. Iba ba yun? Hindi ba yun?
Parang hindi yata kita na text ko doon. Baka wrong send.
Joke lang yun. Joke.
But definitely it's something that is in my prayers. It's just really an extra challenge right now with the quarantine. How would you really, go
How would you date, no?
Diba? So
we should have a session there. How dating during the quarantine?
Oh, diba? So it's really challenging. How are you going to do that with all of the barriers? But to answer your question, definitely someone who is, I would say someone who is independent in a way, has her own thing, is passionate about something else. That's something that I'm looking for. Someone who is supportive as well.
Yeah.
And when I say supportive, someone who will laugh at my corny jokes.
Yun.
And yeah, someone who loves.
Okay kasi, go ahead.
Someone who loves her family as well. I love my family, and that's something that I would want to see in my partner moving forward.
Okay ka celebrity or okay kang hindi celebrity? Preference?
At the end of the day, yun nga, what she does, it can be anything. Kahit celebrity, okay lang yan. I think it will all boil down to talaga eh. Character.
Si Tito, si Tita, wala bang preference?
Marami yata silang preference, bro. Pero sa dami rin na nakikita lang nangyayari sa paligid with people. Sa totoo lang, when we look at, not to put anyone down, pero di ba, you see relationships na somehow falling apart din sa gilid. So sabi nga nila, okay, don't rush things. So sabi ko, definitely God will, God has already prepared that person. Ang prayer ko lang, Lord, baka naman. Yan.
Sige. So anyway, before we end, we usually play this game called Take Me to the Top. So basically, this little game that we have is, or I'm gonna mention a phrase or a word or a phrase, and all you need to do, Bodes, is just say a word or a phrase back. Are you ready?
Okay, I'll try my best. We're never ready, but we're game.
Yun. Oh, okay. When I say Pinoy Big Brother.
Kuya.
Remember Kuya. Go-to song.
Go-to song. I would say alarm clock ko pag morning, bro, desert song. When I'm feeling really stressed. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, yan yung reminder kasi during the time that my dad, nag-explain na, during the time that my dad had cancer, yan yung to really help me get into that perspective of victory.
Favorite band?
I would, Maroon 5.
Maroon 5, alright. Natanong ko na to kanina eh, favorite K-drama. Siguro favorite K-drama actor or actress?
Actor, Lee Seung-gi. Action star yan, bro. Yan yung FPJ ng Korean. Tapos sa babae, si IU. Sobrang galing.
FPJ ng Korean?
Oh, bro, napakahusay niyan. Hindi namamatayan.
Galing naman doon. Talo pa niya si Nalito Lapid, ganon. Si
bro,
Coco Martin, talo niya.
Para sa mga mas bata, yan yung Cardo Dalisay ng mga K-drama.
Okay. When I say Joseph the Dreamer.
Transition. Yan yung transition project ko to where I am right now.
Okay, eto. When I say Tears of Cruz the Third.
Icon.
When I say Love Life.
Wala. Wala. Ganon, wala. Andito na pala yung amazing yoga teacher natin, ha?
Amazing yoga teacher daw. Kinakamusta niya yung yoga mo.
Pwede bang gawin mo hashtag yung amazing?
Hashtag amazing. Amazing daw. Pero wait, sandali, Bods. Gusto ko lang kita i-congratulate dahil first time ni Mace lumabas. Sa mga lahat ng episodes na ginawa namin, sa'yo lang siya lumabas.
Bro,
kasi at wala ka pa rin love life.
Pero bro, dapat di mo i-edit out to kasi moment yan.
Hindi. Sabihin ko sa partner ko, wag i-edit to. Dahil, momentous.
Yes.
So,
yes.
love life, wala
Bro.
Nothing.
Wala. Praying.
What about, hardship?
Hardship. Definitely, sickness. That's what comes to mind. Kasi the family has, I think, bulk of our hardship has been wrapped around sickness. But thankful that we overcame it.
What about, last two, what about when you say quarantine?
Quarantine. Learning. Time of learning for everyone. Again, sabi ko nga, it can be learning a new skill. It can be maturing when it comes to our perspectives.
Okay. What about last, when I say family?
Family. Love. I think that's when really the love of God comes in. Support. So, yeah, and it's a beautiful thing talaga that we can't explain. Family, usually nagkakabanggaan kayo, but at the end of the day, yan yung uwian mo. So, it's
and I guess I just want to share this. Whenever I see you with PJ before, but especially with Janine, kami ni Macy pinag-uusapan namin how kasi si Bodie is the middle child, tama, right?
Yes,
si PJ, and then they have a younger sister, si Janine, who cooks, who bakes very well. Ano yung masarap, Mace?
Red velvet.
Yung red velvet niya, napakasarap. So,
nauubos ko yung 1 dozen.
Oo, nauubos ni Macy yung 1 dozen with si Lorenzo, and it's really good. So, free endorsement yan. Check out her Instagram. But one thing that I really appreciate, siguro, before we end, parang I like how close you guys are. Kami ni Macy talked about it, na parang, di ba yung iba, barkada ko to, hiwalay-hiwalay, but I see you, whether that's in church or with friends, ever since, no? Na parang you guys actually don't mind. How many years are you apart?
3 with my sister.
3, tapos boy, tas girl. I'm sure you fight. I'm pretty sure you guys fight, no? But yung nakita lang namin, and kami ni Macy, parang sinasabi namin, that's something that we want for our children, that they would hang out together because we see you guys hang out. Paano nangyari yun? And for a parent like me, this is not in the script again. You know how I am. I'm very spontaneous. It's not in the script. But paano yun? Is that your parents? Is that dahil ang bait mo lang talaga? Or ang bait lang talaga ni Janine? Paano ba nangyari yun?
But kidding aside, alam mo, that's one of the things that I think about a lot of times then. Sabi ko nga, paano kaya ginawa ng parents namin na ganoon yung setup?
Pero wait, before you say that, you know that not a lot of people are like that. That's not norm. I mean, that's not the norm. I mean, there are people that, they're okay, pero they don't hang, right?
Yeah.
So,
I hear a lot about that. Kaya nga parati ko iniisip, sabi ko, paano nga ba ginawa ng parents namin? Kasi I would want to do it to my future kids. But
sige,
then,
tell me. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Tita,
So I couldn't
tito, I
really,
need to guess them. Okay?
I really can't pinpoint, pero growing up lang, I remember that they really instilled sticking together, defending each other, loving each other. Definitely meron kami mga times ng sister and ng brother ko na talaga nagpupukpukan kami ng notebook, libro, ganong klaseng away. Pero every time they'd catch us, sasabihan talaga nila kami na kayo pa yung mag-aaway-away, kayo nga yung magkakapatid. You better stick together. You need to, stress din nila sa amin na you only have, yun nga, yung sister nyo, yung bunso, alagaan nyo yan, treat her like a princess, stuff like that. So I think it was really instilling it all throughout the years and just being consistent of making sure then na we had one thing na they really encouraged is for us to have one set of friends then. So if you see yung barkada namin, we are brother and sister, pero we are actually part of the same barkada as well.
Yes.
So
doon ako na-amaze eh.
It was in that lang din. Dati kasi di ba, meron sa magkapatid. Kunwari, iwan ko na yan, makulit yan eh. No namin yan. Sama mo yung kapatid mo. Include her. Kahit na makulit yan, kapatid mo yan. And stuff like that, take care of her. So, I really don't know how they did it. I bet if you'd ask them, they wouldn't know as well. But I think that's when consistency plays talaga a big part.
Right. Well, I wish we had more time. We really learned a lot. Just going through challenges, your faith in God, having a well-balanced life, and dami naming learnings. Siguro as we conclude, maybe a couple of last words for all of our viewers who are, who's here listening, maybe going through challenges. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. We're all going through challenges with this lockdown. But can you just give them a little bit of encouragement as we conclude?
Yeah, I think this lockdown again is a wonderful time to recalibrate. Again, we don't wish it upon ourselves. I don't minimize the losses that we've had during this time, but I pray that as we go through this, that we would have the right perspective, learning, and this is not the last problem that we are going to face in this world. This is just one of the many, marami pang darating. And my encouragement for everyone is, to connect with people. Sabi nga nila, di ba, right this season, we are actually social distancing, but I don't think that's actually the right term. We distance ourselves physically, but never distance yourselves socially. That's when you're dragged down. So definitely connect with people, but the most important thing is to connect with God. Never go through anything in your life without Him. He is the one who gives us purpose. He is the one who makes everything beautiful. He is the one who gives us hope. So this time is a time of us really setting aside the things that we thought are important, the things that we thought gave us life. This is a time that we are forced to set those aside and really just to fix our eyes on Him. And I tell you that when you surrender your life to Jesus, you can never really go wrong. So take that step, put your trust in Him, and He will get us through this situation.
That's awesome, Bodie. I really appreciate you encouraging us. We're gonna put up on our screens then a link to join some of the groups. They call them Bible study or victory groups. We're gonna put it in here, and we can hook you up with si Pastor Bodie if you need to find people na sinasabi nga niya who are friends who can stand with you. Anyway, Boots, thank you so much. Super appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. Thanks
bro,
for...
we always find time for you. Tayo lang
Yo,
ngayon.
thank you so much.
Kasi bro, bumalik ka sa North eh.
Oo, balik ako sa North eh. But anyway, again, thanks Boots. To all of you who were listening, I'm sure you were inspired by my friend, Pastor Bodie Cruz. So many stories. Make sure you share and you like this page. And I guess kunin natin lahat ng mga learnings natin and be inspired. And we truly have hope for the future. God bless you. See you in our next episode.